my UCLA Bruins. Former NFL Network analyst and Falcons head coach Jim Mora got them going in the right direction. Home against Nevada to open things up at the end of the month, and Coach joins us now. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm great, Dan. I got to tell you that I've become a big Dan Patrick Show fan. I listen to you every morning on 570 here,
Nice.
AM in L.A., driving in, Dan and the Danettes. Loved your stories about Italy the other day.
Thank you. Okay, but
the
how
little
did
fight that you guys had the other day in the studio with Paulie and who was it? They were defending each other.
Seton?
So
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys have a lot of fun there.
We do, but how is it when you're driving in and I'm talking about you? I
heard you talk about me this morning. I want to know where I can get one of those Rat's Ass T-shirts.
Did you not get one of those?
No, I didn't get a rat. I give you some material, and I don't give a Rat's Ass T-shirt.
Okay,
I don't get it.
Let's recap though how we got to that point. Because
let's do it.
Okay, you guys were playing USC, and
we'd already played.
Yes,
USC.
you guys
ready to play Stanford.
You guys had played them and beaten them, but they had all of this so-called first-round talent, and you beat them. So here's how it played out after that. If you're looking at the USC guy you think would have the most success in the pros, who would it be?
The USC guy?
Yeah.
Dan, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I couldn't give a rat's ass about USC right now.
Okay, but okay. I didn't mean it in a negative way.
But you editing. There's your editing right there. Because if you'd have let me continue, the next thing I said is, I believe I'm thinking about Stanford.
Yes.
Because that was our. So it wasn't that I don't give never was meant to be disrespectful to you or USC. I have tremendous respect for Lane Kiffin and USC. It's just the coach's mindset is I got to move on. So does your son go to USC?
Yes.
Oh, there's the disclaimer right there. See, you're trying to get the UCLA football coach to talk about USC at Stanford week.
Ask Lane Kiffin how I am with him on the radio.
Lane, you know what? It's really interesting because Lane and I are actually very friendly. I have a ton of respect for him. We live in the same community. I've known him since he was 17 years old. You know, I worked with his dad. His dad coached for my dad. Matter of fact, his dad had a lot of influence on what I like to do defensively, kind of my philosophies. Spend a lot of time with Lane at the league meetings and the media, and people are always surprised when I tell them that Lane and I get along fantastically. He's a good man.
But I'm not surprised that you get along with him. Neuheisel wanted to tweak USC. Like he's you just want to beat him. I thought Rick wanted to tweak them a little bit, put up the billboard. So it's different like that. By the way, what size shirt do you want with I don't give a rat's ass about USC?
I need an extra large. I'm going to wear it. But just to be clear, I was not tweaking USC nor being disrespectful to them. I was simply saying at this point, we just played them. I don't care about them anymore. I got to concentrate on Stanford. But anyway, I like listening to your show. You guys are great. You guys, what a deal you got going. I'm hearing you talking about playing pinball and throwing darts. I'm like, when do you work?
Well, I got a bar here with the, I got beer on tap. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, we have a nice life. By the way, my daughter is going into her senior year in high school, and I'm having her consider UCLA. I don't know if you want to recruit her. But, she's going to go. She's going to take a tour of USC. Just going to let you know here, okay?
You know what's interesting is my daughter is going into her senior year in high school. She's got 3 schools that she likes. She likes UCLA, USC, and University of Colorado. And she said, Dad, how would you feel if I ended up at USC? And I said, as long as you're happy and doing what you want, then I would support it 100%.
That's good.
My mom went to USC. My dad got his master's at USC. My uncle was a professor at USC, and my cousins all went to USC. How about that? And I'm over here at UCLA trying to beat them.
Coach, I don't give a rat's ass about USC right now. I care about the Bruins right now.
I love it.
Promoting, you see, I mean, Brett Hundley is fabulous, but I don't know if promoting an underclassman now, given what happened with Johnny Manziel, do you want to put him in that fishbowl? Purposely and promote him for the Heisman Trophy?
No, I think the prudent thing to do is let it happen if he earns it. I think you if he goes out and he plays spectacular football and we win football games, then it's going to happen organically. People in the media are going to recognize that and promote him. But I don't think that at this point for a young man like Brett, who's going to be a redshirt sophomore, and really, quite frankly, he had a good year, but not a spectacular year. I don't think you're doing him any great service if you promote him for the Heisman. Now, Brett is a very grounded young man. He's got a great family, and I think that he would handle the hype very, very well. But I'm not sure that, quite frankly, Dan, that we at UCLA, nor Brett himself, has earned that yet. So we're just going to move along and hope that it happens because of his performance and because of our performance.
He's Jim Mora, the UCLA head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Yeah, I'm always worried about that we promote instead of just letting something play out. And when it plays out, it's more natural, and then I think you grow into it, as opposed to, remember Joey Harrington when they put up the big billboards in New York City? And,
I do.
Even last year with Matt Barkley, like he started so high, you had no place to go but down. And I think it's hard. Now, granted, Matt had a lot of publicity, but I like that Brett can just ease into it, and then it's easier to take that attention than Manziel. That was attention overnight that got crazy, out of hand.
Oh, it's out of control, the Johnny football thing. And I mean, he's a great player, and he's electric. And, you love to watch him play. I don't think you want to ever play against him. But Brett hasn't done those things yet, and I think he's capable of it. I mean, I see a player that I believe has a great future, both at this level and the next. He's got everything you need to be a great quarterback, but it's still about performing on the field on a consistent basis, leading your team to victories, and then having team success, playing in big games. We play against Nevada here in a week and a half, and then we get to go to Nebraska, and then later in the season we go on the road and play Stanford and Oregon. Well, if Brett Hundley can go into some of those hostile environments, Lincoln, Nebraska, and Eugene, Oregon, and up to Palo Alto, where we struggled against that team, and lead us to some wins and do some special things, then you know what? All of a sudden, the media is going to recognize that, and he's going to get his due. But for us to produce it, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Our poll question today has to do with Michael Vick, and I know you driving in heard the question. But, has it, if you were going to just assess football and you coached him, has it been a great career, good career, or disappointing career for Michael Vick?
I thought that your take on it was just right. It's been a good career that at some points has been disappointing because he was a first-round pick, and, we have expectations. If you take a quarterback as a first-round pick, you're looking for a guy that can go win a Super Bowl for you. But I think it's been a good career because he's provided a lot of great moments for people, and he's won a lot of games. My hope for Mike is that we can say at the end of this thing that it was a great career. My hope is that in this offense with Chip Kelly and with the way that he's matured as a person and as a player, that he can go get himself a championship and hopefully redeem himself in people's eyes. I know Mike very, very well. And he's made some terrible mistakes, and mistakes that kind of cut to the heart of people because of our feelings towards our pets. But he's done everything he can since that time to try to earn the trust of people back. And he's a good man. He's a good person, and he's trying to walk the right path.
Before I let you go, you have other teams in the Pac-12. Certainly Stanford looked at as favored. Would you rather be in the favorite position or in that underdog position, given your personality?
Underdog all day.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point in my career, Dan, I don't like the publicity. I don't like the hype. I just want to coach these young men and help them get better and win games. And I don't want to be the favorite. I want us to just kind of slide under the radar and keep getting better. And we really haven't earned the right to be the favorite yet. We beat USC late in the year, and it was a heck of a game, and people got a little bit too excited about that, I think. And we ended with 3 straight losses. Stanford beat us twice in a row, and then Baylor just crushed us in the Holiday Bowl. Now, those Stanford games were good games, and we played them really tight in the Pac-12 championship game, but the bottom line is they beat us. So in order for us to earn any hype, in my opinion, we got to go win some of those big games, tough games in hostile environments on the road, and that's our goal.
Anthony Barr, your All-American linebacker, injured yesterday. Can you give me an update on that?
Yeah, he'll be okay. He took a little shot. It wobbled him. I don't want to minimize, hits to the head at all. As a matter of fact, I'm a huge advocate of player safety. But I think he's fine. He recovered quickly. We're always going to be very, very careful when it comes to helmet-to collisions and the brain trauma stuff. I think we owe it to kids at this level to make sure we're making very informed and very cautious decisions when it comes to those things. But Anthony will be just fine.
Good to visit with you. We'll get that shirt out to you as soon as we can, Coach.
All right, Dan. Nice talking to you, too.
All right. Jim Mora, UCLA head coach. Just converting them one coach at a time. Kumbaya.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.